The Indiana Fever continue to make massive moves in free agency, signing
Oh, to be a Caitlyn Clark hater right now. They doubted she would have the same impact in the WNBA as she did in college.
Will Caitlyn Clark come into the WNBA and do what she's doing right now? Immediately? Absolutely not.
They said she only gets media attention because of, well, watch this.
It's just the structure of the way media plays out race.
They said she was irrelevant before Angel Reese came along.
We were not talking about Caitlyn Clark.
As she proved herself time and time again, setting countless records, winning Rookie of the Year, earning Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year, and skyrocketing the league's popularity in the process, they grasped at raw stats to discount her recognition. Well, that is about to end. The Fever just made an enormous splash in free agency, and as you'll see in this video, the haters are about to run out of excuses real fast. This is the year the hate stops. Oh, they'll grasp at straws and find little holes they can poke, but they're gonna sound foolish. Remember this video in November, when they begrudgingly bend the knee, kiss the ring, and Sheryl Swoopes is wearing a Caitlyn Clark jersey on Gil's Arena. With what just happened in free agency, it's going to be a fun season for Caitlyn Clark and her fans. Let's break down what happened. But first, subscribe if you can't wait to see Sheryl Swoopes wearing Fever Red. Okay, to understand how sweet 2025 will be, we have to fully appreciate the bitterness of 2024. Remember when the haters said Caitlyn Clark wouldn't dominate in the WNBA as she did in college? That the increased competition and physical play would get to her? They were on the attack before Caitlyn stepped onto a WNBA court. And, as it turned out, they couldn't have been more wrong. From day one, Caitlyn Clark was on a mission to silence her doubters. In her very first WNBA game, she dropped 20 points. It was just a taste of what was to come. As the season progressed, Clark didn't just meet expectations, she shattered them. She didn't just set a new mark for WNBA rookie assists, she shattered the all-time single-season record. She was the first rookie ever to record a triple-double in WNBA history. She led all rookies in scoring, averaging 19.2 points per game. Not too shabby, Sheryl. But here's the thing, Caitlyn Clark's impact went far beyond the stat sheet. She single-handedly revitalized the Indiana Fever franchise. A team that had been struggling for years suddenly became must-see TV. Attendance skyrocketed, with the Fever averaging over 17,000 fans per game. On the road, teams moved to bigger arenas just to accommodate her fans. As the season drew to a close, there was only one question left. Would Clark win Rookie of the Year? In a near-unanimous vote, Caitlyn Clark was crowned the WNBA's best rookie. It wasn't just a victory, it was a coronation. Her impact on the league was immeasurable. Just kidding, it's totally measurable. The WNBA experienced a 155% increase in viewership across all platforms compared to the previous year. Games featuring Caitlyn Clark averaged 1.19 million viewers, nearly tripling the average for other contests. This surge in popularity translated directly to the league's bottom line, with Caitlyn responsible for an estimated 26.5% of league economic activity. Her jersey sales shattered previous WNBA records, with a near 1,200% increase year over year. To put this into perspective, Clark's jersey outsold some NBA stars, a feat that was once thought impossible for a WNBA rookie. Casual fans who had never given women's basketball a second thought found themselves drawn into the excitement, debating Clark's place among the all-time greats and eagerly anticipating her next jaw-dropping performance. Major brands took notice of Clark's meteoric rise and rushed to sign her to lucrative endorsement deals. These partnerships not only filled Clark's pockets, making her one of the top 10 earning female athletes, but also dramatically increased the WNBA's visibility in mainstream media and pop culture. Any way you slice it, in one season, she single-handedly elevated the entire WNBA to new heights of popularity and relevance.
Clark bounces, busting the spin and the finish.
And it drove the haters nuts. Desperate to diminish Caitlyn's impact, they claimed her hype wasn't justified and that other players should get more of the spotlight. Sheryl Swoopes in particular used A'ja Wilson's stats as a crutch, claiming she should get more recognition because had more points. And to A'ja's credit, she did. And she was named MVP once again, so it's not like she didn't get recognized. But here's what got lost in the waves of the jealous sea. Asia had a superior supporting cast. No offense to the Fever, but when you've got all-stars flanking you like Asia did, and you don't need to carry the team, it dramatically helps your production. Well, now it's Caitlyn's turn to get an all-star supporting cast. The Fever know what they have in Caitlyn Clark, a generational player. So they set out on a mission to surround her with championship-caliber talent and transform their franchise into instant contenders. The free agency period opened with a flurry of activity as teams across the league jockeyed for position to land the top available players. And the Fever came out swinging. They brought home three-time WNBA champion Natasha Howard, a move that sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Howard, who had been drafted by Indiana back in 2014, was coming off a stellar season where she averaged 17.6 points and 6.7 rebounds per game. She brings leadership and championship experience, something the Fever will need because they were far from done. In a move that had fans and pundits alike picking their jaws up off the floor, Indiana managed to secure the services of six-time All-Star DeWanna Bonner. The versatile forward brought a wealth of experience to the table, including 2 championship rings from her time with the Phoenix Mercury. Bonner's arrival addressed one of the Fever's most glaring weaknesses from the previous season, their lackluster defense. With Bonner patrolling the paint and the perimeter, Indiana's second-to-last defensive rating is about to become a thing of the past. In another savvy move, they acquired sharpshooter Sophie Cunningham, a player known for her accuracy from beyond the arc. With a career three-point percentage of 36.2%, Cunningham's ability to stretch the floor would create even more space for Clark to work her magic. When you add in Kelsey Mitchell, who they retained, and an improving Aliyah Boston, the Indiana Fever transformed from a rebuilding project into a legitimate championship contender practically overnight. They're going to be incredibly difficult to guard. But perhaps the most telling sign of the team's newfound status came from Clark herself. When asked about the Fever's offseason moves, the young superstar couldn't contain her excitement.
I'm excited. They're helping us win now, and I think that's really important. I think they're putting really good pieces together that are gonna, complement each other really, really well.
To put this into perspective, the Fever had gone from being a team that won the lottery pick to landing some of the biggest names in free agency, and it was a testament to the power of the Caitlyn Clark effect. Players who might have previously scoffed at the idea of joining a struggling franchise were now lining up to play alongside the face of the WNBA. The law of attraction was in full effect, with Clark's on-court brilliance and leadership drawing in top-tier talent like moths to a flame. As the dust settled on one of the most transformative off-seasons in recent memory, one thing became crystal clear. The Indiana Fever were no longer content with simply being competitive. They were going all in on winning, and they were doing it now. With a roster that boasted a perfect blend of young talent and veteran experience, the stage was set for something truly special in Indianapolis. Now, remember this clip from Caitlyn's ex-coach talking about how she demanded greatness from her teammates?
For the really, the Kobe's, the Jordans, the Caitlyns, maybe Diana Taurasi's, it is never personal. We just want to win the effing game.
Well, the same applies to coaches too. Arguably the most important offseason move by the Fever was firing Christy Sides and bringing in Stephanie White. A Coach of the Year award winner, White has proved her ability to implement effective offensive strategies and maximize player potential. The Fever's offense is expected to be a thing of beauty under White's guidance. Her system emphasizes ball movement, player spacing, and quick decision-making, all areas where Clark excels. But it's not just about Clark. White's offense is designed to create opportunities for every player on the court, which should lead to a more balanced and unpredictable attack. By making this move early in the offseason, the Fever made a statement to Caitlyn and free agents. We're committed to winning now. And let's not forget, there's no way a coach like Stephanie White bails on a championship contender like the Connecticut Sun to coach a 500 team without Caitlyn Clark. When you look at it, and this comparison may annoy some of you, Clark's influence is reminiscent of another sports icon who had a similar effect on his teams, Tom Brady. Players wanted to play with Brady because of his unwavering commitment to excellence excellence and his ability to make those around him better. I mean, Gronk came out of retirement just to join Brady in Tampa Bay, where Brady won his record 7th Super Bowl. Now, we're witnessing a similar phenomenon with Clark and the Fever. It's about winning and creating a legacy. At this point, it's clear that Clark's impact goes far beyond her assists and three-pointers. She's reshaping the entire culture of the Indiana Fever, turning them into one of the WNBA's model organizations almost overnight. But as with any rapid transformation, questions remain. Can Clark maintain this level of influence as expectations continue to rise? And that brings us back to what Caitlyn needs to do to silence the haters. Dominate. As the dust settles on the Fever's offseason moves, all eyes turn to Caitlyn Clark's sophomore campaign. The basketball world is buzzing with anticipation, wondering if Clark can take the leap from young star to legend in just her 2nd season. With a vastly improved supporting cast, the stage is set for Clark to showcase her full potential. Experts are predicting big things for Clark in year 2. They're projecting significant improvements in her shooting efficiency, which was already impressive for a rookie. With less pressure to carry the entire offensive load, Clark's game is expected to evolve. We might see her become an even more deadly shooter, picking her spots more carefully and punishing defenses that dare to leave her open. But it's not just about offense. Clark's defensive skills are also expected to take a leap forward. Remember, she came into the league known primarily for her scoring and playmaking. Now, with a year of WNBA experience under her belt and the guidance of defensive stalwarts like Natasha Howard, Clark could become a true two-way threat. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, but can she really dominate in her 2nd year? Well, history is on Clark's side. Caitlyn improved every year while playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes. In fact, some analysts are boldly predicting that Clark could lead the league in both scoring and assists. That's a feat that hasn't been accomplished since Cynthia Cooper in the WNBA's inaugural season. The pressure to single-handedly carry the team is gone, replaced by the opportunity to orchestrate one of the most potent offenses in WNBA history. This could lead to even more jaw-dropping assist numbers and highlight reel plays that leave fans and opponents alike in awe. The combination of Clark's individual brilliance and the Fever's improved roster has experts predicting a significant jump in the team's win total and playoff seeding. Some are even whispering about championship contention, a far cry from the lottery team status of just a year ago. But here's the million-dollar question. Can Clark handle the weight of these lofty expectations? If history is any indication, the answer is a resounding yes. Clark thrives under pressure, consistently rising to the occasion when the stakes are highest. Her ability to mentor younger teammates and foster a winning mentality could be the secret ingredient that propels the Fever to new heights. Don't be surprised if we see Clark earn her first MVP, cementing her status as the league's clear-cut great in just her 2nd season. And this is where the critics, the haters, the people who'd walk on glass to take Caitlyn down a peg will run out of ammo. They'll be grasping at any statistical straw they can get a hold of. They'll shift from questioning her offensive prowess to nitpicking her defensive skills, or her lack of left-handed layups, or her turnovers. It'll be a classic case of moving the goalposts. To put this into perspective, when Michael Jordan entered the NBA, critics initially doubted his ability to lead a team to a championship. As he proved them wrong time and time again, the criticisms became more and more acute and ultimately irrelevant. At this point, you might be wondering if the lack of credible criticism could actually hinder Clark's growth. After all, many great athletes use doubt as fuel for their competitive fire. But keep in mind, Clark's mentality mirrors that of legends like Serena Williams and Michael Jordan. These icons found motivation not just in silencing critics, but in pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible in their respective sports. In fact, Clark's ability to use criticism as motivation is reminiscent of Kobe Bryant's infamous Mamba mentality. She has a relentless drive for improvement, suggesting that even as the doubters fade away, Clark will find new ways to challenge herself and elevate her game. At the end of the day, Clark's path to basketball immortality is clear. She just needs to deliver.
All night tonight.
Are you talking about my high school experience? Clark connects!
The stage is set, the supporting cast is in place, and the world is watching. Caitlyn Clark's quest for greatness is just beginning. And if her career so far is any indication, 2025 is going to be an exciting year for Caitlyn, the Fever, and her fans, and not the haters.